What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. So it's been a decent amount of time now that the Assassin Reworks have finally been launched, and so far I have to say that the results aren't entirely promising. There were quite a few champions that saw a win rate drop of 10% or even more, and almost every assassin, if not every single assassin, received an overall nerf after the fact. Now Riot definitely did have a difficult job ahead of them of trying to make assassins actually offer something to the team outside of just solo killing stuff, but so far it seems like their quest to make assassins healthier while still making them strong and powerful has actually turned up in making them completely useless, at least on this patch so far. And today we're going to be taking a look and really reflecting back on the goals of the Assassin Reworks and trying to decide if the changes are maybe responsible for killing the competitiveness of assassins in general thus far. And if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button and let's begin. So definitely, as most of you guys probably know by now, Riot decided to go with an assassin roster update with three main goals in mind. First off, they wanted to make assassins healthier. They also wanted to give assassins a more unique identity. And lastly, they wanted to make assassins contribute more to overall just winning the game outside of just assassinating people. So let's take a look at those goals in the context of each assassin rework and maybe figure out whether or not Riot actually succeeded in accomplishing those goals, or if maybe the update fell a little bit short. So first up, in terms of making the assassins a little bit healthier, the problem in the past was always that assassins carry games so hard just by making every single team fight a 4v5 with their assassination power, whether it's that instant burst from LeBlanc or an uncatchable shadow from Zed just deleting your backline. The problem here has always been the lack of counterplay. And if you didn't have your team babysitting your AD carry, they were probably just going to get absolutely destroyed. In fact, most of the time it didn't even matter if you were babysitting them sometimes, because you would just die so fast you couldn't even react, and then the assassin would just blink back to safety. Now, Riot's method of making assassins healthier was to widen what they call, or what they refer to as, the burst window. Essentially the amount of time it takes for an assassin to pull off their entire combo, to deal all of their damage and escape as well, so putting a delay on their escape. Take someone like Zed for example. He has a pretty fair burst window because he's actually got a delay before his death mark triggers, and he can't instantly teleport out anymore to his ultimate because of the delay that Riot introduced to it. So although he can still get to your backline with relative ease, he's not going to kill anyone instantly, and he's not going to escape immediately either. So you actually do have a pretty fair chance to crowd control Zed, finish him off, do some sort of counterplay, meaning that even if Zed does get the kill, you've traded one for one, or evenly, or at least had a chance to react, right? Now, pretty much all of the reworks feature changes that worked in a very similar way to that. LeBlanc now has a delay if she wants to trigger her sigil for the extra burst damage. Katarina is a little bit slower and needs more planning rather than just hopping in and button mashing for a pentakill, and Talon's a lot more focused on killing a single target rather than just a bunch of random area of effect damage. And even the same goes for Rengar, honestly, because Rengar can't build up a ton of ferocity before a fight and then use it for a gank later. He has to build up the ferocity during the fight, which definitely means that he has to think on his feet a little bit more and have a lot more interaction in the fight itself. Rengar can definitely still one-shot people, as can all the other assassins, but ideally it's going to take around at least like 1 to 2 seconds instead of, before, when it was taking half a second or just 2 button presses sometimes. So if you're aware that they're coming, you can be ready to play around them, and all the assassins still have these really powerful burst abilities, these really powerful escapes built in, but overall they're definitely a lot easier to play around and play against, maybe even too easy to play against, to be honest. But it's definitely fair to say that the reworked assassins have much healthier kits in general. Riot definitely succeeded in this goal. The assassins just aren't going to be able to as easily solo your damage dealers and then just straight up win a fight because of it anymore. They're definitely a lot more fair, they've got more counterplay, so as far as the first goal, Riot definitely succeeded. Now next up is their goal of making every assassin unique from one another. Now in this aspect they didn't actually really fail at all, to be honest. You aren't going to mistake a Zed for a Talon anymore, and every assassin definitely has their own play pattern. It's more of a concern of what Riot had to do to actually introduce enough of an individuality to each assassin themselves. I guess I have to say the elephant in the room with this one's definitely Talon, who Riot kind of wanted to brand as like the roamer sort of assassin, or like the assassin you want to pick if you just don't want to lane, if you just want to leave the mid lane to gank for your teammates the entire game, rather than actually focus on winning your own lane. Now before the update, Talon was actually had a lot of similarities and definitely was one of the assassins that struggled to finding his own unique identity as opposed to some of the others. He would kind of just mass murder the entire enemy team with the crazy AoE burst damage, very similar to Katarina, and he had a lot of similarities to Zed when it came to his solo target killing as well. And redefining Talon as the go-to roaming assassin, it's not a bad decision in terms of making him more unique, giving him his own identity, but the thing is that to actually make Talon feel unique, since, let's be honest here, every assassin does have roaming potential after all, they ended up giving Talon this just like absolutely ridiculous gimmick almost. His ability to hop over walls it's actually really damn cool, don't get me wrong, and having a parkour ability is really cool, but it's a lot like the introduction of like Skarner's Spires or maybe Mordekaiser's ability to spawn a dragon. It's really just like this big gimmick ability. Any champion ability that fundamentally affects one of the rules of the game is going to be looked at a bit of kind of a concern in terms of how it was designed, at least, if not a failure, regardless of how cool it looks or how fun it is to play with, whether it's introducing, new objectives or removing the point of having terrain or making neutral monsters no longer neutral. And that being said though, Talon doesn't feel like the other assassins anymore, and the same kind of goes for a lot of the other changes too. Rengar feels totally unique, his new ultimate feels way more like you're stalking prey than it did before, when it was telling you where the entire enemy team was rather than forcing you to spend some time searching each person out so that you could figure out the right target to take down. LeBlanc's identity as a deceiver has been improved with their new clone mechanics, although it is kind of a little bit gimmicky again, and Katarina's dagger resets have maintained her position as like the dagger spamming area of effect assassin, while also making her reasonably harder to play, so that can honestly be considered a success as well. And in terms of making each assassin have their own unique identity, making them a lot more individual, making improvements on their thematics, overall Riot has, for the most part, probably succeeded in this area. All the assassins feel and play differently, so despite the couple of gimmicks that have been introduced, it's fair to say that Riot did actually do a reasonable job of accomplishing this goal. So far that's 2 for 2. But that's pretty much where Riot's successes with the rework seem to end though. And unfortunately, it's probably the most important goal of the reworks where they seem to have fall short. Because the biggest problem Riot had with assassins was that they didn't really have to coordinate with their teams at all, and it was really easy to pick up kills with them, which led to some really kind of insane playstyles, honestly. They could pretty much get away with doing whatever they wanted. They could kill people in the early game and they'd just be totally unstoppable because of the snowball, or they'd kill one target in the late game and win because of the 4v5, or if they fell behind, they would just end up being completely useless. And it created such a feast or famine playstyle, which really made the assassin role unhealthy at its core. And it's to fix this problem, Riot wanted to force assassins to contribute to a lot more team play, the team game, so that they'd have much more of a reason to stick with their teams, help with objectives, or push lanes, stuff like that. And there was a lot of talk for a while about a potential assassin objective to help with this, although that actually ended up getting cancelled. Instead, all we get is assassins that are just straight up weaker than they were before. They're a lot less able to kill a target solo, and it doesn't seem like anything was introduced to make them more focused on playing around their team. And since that's pretty much what assassins are meant to do, solo kill targets, it resulted in their win rates just absolutely jumping off a cliff and completely falling. On assassins, if you can't solo kill a target, you definitely would much rather have a mage champion that can actually team fight or provide some sort of utility with crowd control or maybe engage multiple enemies, meaning right now, actually picking an assassin ends up being pretty much a waste of time unless you're extremely proficient on that champion. And this is one of the big reasons why the Assassin's win rates have been dropping so much. The new, harder to play Assassin style is really struggling to pick up solo kills, which was always their main game plan in the past. You kind of have to ask yourself, why bother playing a difficult champion that can, solo kill a target when you could play a much easier champion that you could work better with your team with, team fight a lot better, help wipe out all 5 enemies maybe, and still also have the same level of solo kill potential almost. The higher up in the rankings that you go, the more noticeable the effect of the Assassin update has definitely been, because so far it has actually completely killed off Assassins in terms of competitiveness at the moment. The pick rates haven't entirely dropped that much yet, but it's probably only a matter of time, because the thing is that like the resurgence in the meta popularity of Assassins is really just coming from everyone wanting to try out the changes and mess around with the new champions. And since pretty much all of the Assassin reworks have resulted in making them more difficult to play, players just aren't going to see the same level of success with them that they did before the changes happened. Now, fortunately, it's a lot easier to rebalance the Assassins, maybe bump up their numbers or something like that, than it is to completely redesign them to be unique or healthy or whatever. So, although the whole team play contribution goal has pretty much flopped with Riot, hopefully some fine-tuning on Riot's end is going to fix things up, throw in some buffs here and there, and leave us with some really cool viable champions, despite the fact that that specific goal wasn't necessarily accomplished. Riot 20th Century Foe shared this idea, saying that although the Assassin rework might not have hit the mark immediately, it's definitely going to be a good change for the long run, and I think that's definitely fair to say, considering the first 2 goals that were accomplished quite successfully. All the Assassins also now have kits that are a lot easier to balance in the future, and giving breathing room to opponents also gives breathing room to how much power Riot can put onto the Assassin's abilities. Now, none of the reworks necessarily missed their mark, although Riot Reeve 3 did actually mention that they were willing to revert the reworks if they ended up being really bad. But for now, it's probably best to just wait a little bit, let people get used to the new kits, and of course for Riot to help them out with some buffs for their overall potential. And it's probably going to take a while for people to figure out for sure if some of the new reworks are inherently weak or inherently strong, since, well, they all have significantly increased skill ceilings now, that it's kind of unlikely that most players are using them correctly, especially in the case of Assassins with a ton of different options and approaches to a fight, like LeBlanc for example. Now, it can be pretty easy to be negative when you see your favorite assassin being kind of useless, but hopefully we'll definitely see some balance changes during the preseason that's going to fix up the weaknesses of the assassins, since all the pieces are now in place for them to honestly just be way fairer to play against thanks to the new counterplay options. And overall, I do believe that the Assassin reworks were successful. They accomplished 2 out of 3 of their major goals, and it's definitely a huge benefit for the long run, so I don't think it's fair to say that they failed. Either way though, that's just about going to wrap up our thoughts and findings on the changes of the Assassin reworks. So definitely let us know what you guys thought of the reworks. Maybe if you had any cool ideas for buffs or something for the Assassins to make them competitive again, make Assassins great again. Definitely let us know in the comments section below. And either way, it looks like that's going to be it for me. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you want. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.